This week, I've been consuming content from Paul Cantor's podcast, Commerce and Culture, and basically it goes through the history and culture and how economics, art, and creativity have kind of intertwined themselves into our society over the years. And a few of the things that I've learned have been very exciting. One of the things that Paul Cantor mentioned was that some people assume that someone has to suffer for their art to be appreciated or to be loved, and that the commercialization of art has kind of killed artists' vibes and their thoughts and their own feelings about art, and they try to tailor it to certain audiences where they will buy their certain art. And so you get this idea of a person hunched over on a desk, painting and painting away, only their feelings tainted by nothing else that they know, and tainted and untainted by money. And they have to suffer because that's the only way art can be true. And when they die, someone will appreciate their art. And that was a concept he brought up and kind of argued against and kind of argued for. And I just don't agree with that. I think the commercialization of art is a great thing. And he mentions that as well. He thinks the commercialization of art drives the economy and drives the artist to do better. And with Shakespeare, I think it's a good example because he loved what he did. He loved writing plays, but he was successful and known because people came to see him. They paid to see him at that Globe Theater. He wouldn't have been able to make money or reach an audience as much if he didn't have the income to support it. Now, the whole art itself around Shakespeare's time was for richer people who were able to afford it, and they didn't spend all their time trying just to survive. They had free time, they had extra money to spend, and they chose to spend the extra money on things like what Shakespeare did. So obviously he wanted to play to his audience and make money, and that's how he was an artist. That's like why he was successful, because people knew and people paid for it. More in a business / I guess more modern sense, I thought of Elvis Presley. Elvis loved music, did some research on him and learned that he loved music from an early age. And he just became better and better and practiced and kept going on with that, with music and with that art form. But I think getting paid for him solidifies his talent and shows that people actually really like to hear what he has to play. If you're just playing on a stage for no money, and people say you're good, it doesn't mean the same as if people are spending their limited funds to buy your tickets and to see you and support you in that way. And I think that's a big thing. Commercialization of art, like you get to see who likes your art and who really appreciates it, because no one's going to pay for something they don't appreciate. He wants people to enjoy his work, and I think that can translate to startup businesses now. They can love what they do and they can love designing new products and inventing and changing the world. But how do they know they're changing the world if people aren't consuming their products, if they're just appreciating them? They need to use them. To use them, they have to buy them. So I think the commercialization of art and commercialization of creativity is not necessarily a bad thing. I think it does stifle creativity slightly, but not in the more important sense of exposure and getting it out there and appealing to what people like. Because if you like what you're doing and you can get money paid for it, that means other people like it too. And that's a great thing, to have other people enjoy your work as much as you. Unless you're solely into art to find your own satisfaction, I think commercialization of art versus just the art in itself, I think commercialization of art has a lot more pros than cons.